James Hoffa's brilliant piece in Huffington Post, Plain Doomsday Politics. And let's wrap the hour with James Hoffa himself, the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, teamster.org, of course, their website. James Hoffa, welcome back to the program.
Tom, it's great to be on.
So what's the latest from Michigan? What's going on there?
Well, I'm on my way back from Lansing. We had, I believe, 50,000 workers there from all different unions to demonstrate our distaste with what's going on. The governor, has taken a lame duck session of the state legislature and rammed through in 5 days a bill of huge importance, this right-to-work bill. He's going to sign it tomorrow. This is really kind of a sneak attack on labor. He didn't permit any testimony, and nor did he have any input from anybody else. Just did it on his own. We really think this has the fingerprints of, the Karl Roves and the Koch brothers, because it's very similar to what was done in Wisconsin and Ohio. This is big business flexing its muscles. And he didn't even trust the new legislature. He used the lame duck to jam this through, because we did win. The Democrats won a number of seats in the new House.
Right.
So he wouldn't even let them be seated.
Well, and he had some Republican...
People are very, very upset with this. It's anti-democratic. It's going to change the dynamics. It's going to set off, a civil war in a very unionized state where people have worked together for many, many years. We have UPS here. We have, General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, all under union contracts. People get along. The state is doing well. The auto industry is recovering. And this is a terrible time to basically set out a very divisive policy.
Yeah, these right-to-work for less laws are not just destructive to unions, but to workers and workers' rights as a whole. I was born in Michigan. I spent my first 27 years there. It's my home state. And I'm just astounded. I mean, my dad was able to be a member of the middle class, basically. He worked in a tool and die shop for 40 years. He was able to own his house by the time he died. We bought a new car every 2 years. Took a vacation every year. He raised 4 boys and put us through school because he had a union job. And of all the states where I would think everybody gets this, Michigan would be at the top of the list. I'm astounded that Rick Snyder was willing to do this, much less able. Do you think it's possible, James Hoffa, that this could be a Todd Akin moment? That this could, where Todd Akin came out and talked about forcible rape, and all of a sudden the women of America said, "What? Is that really how the Republicans are thinking?" And that this could be the moment when working people around America go, "What? Is that really what's going on?"
I think that it could be. They're talking about, they had a term up there. He ran as the nerd. So now they have a chant, one-term nerd, one-term nerd.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty clever. Mm-hmm. But, this really changes everybody's view of him, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. Why would somebody do this? We tried to work with him, but I really think what this is about is politics. I think this is bigger than, I don't think that Dick DeVos, who's a billionaire that runs Amway here in Michigan, I don't think Karl Rove, I don't think the Koch brothers really worry about workers' rights or what they do with unions. This is about basically weakening the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party in Michigan is very, very close to labor. And they realize that Obama won this race in Michigan by 9 points. And I think they're dumbfounded by that, and they say only because unions are strong here is the reason why we could not get Romney or sell Romney to the people of Michigan, and Obama won by such a large margin. So I do think that this is a plan to weaken the Democratic Party. And how do you weaken the Democratic Party? You weaken labor. And I think that's what's going on here. I think this is a lot bigger than what it looks like. I mean, obviously, this is a big issue for us, but I think that's the reasoning of why they did it. And that's the question. The consequences are going to be unbelievably divisive. But now we've got to look at what do we do? This is happening. For whatever reason, it is happening. Yeah. And what we've got to do is to figure out how do we go to court? How do we get this on the ballot somehow in a referendum? That's got to be our goal, and I think that's what we're talking about right now after the dust settles. People should know that this law doesn't take effect for 90 days. So, not that that's good or bad, but that is something there isn't. We got to sit down and figure out what our strategy is. But I think this has been a real Pearl Harbor because, when Rick Snyder ran, he always said, "Oh, it's not on my agenda, not on my agenda." People would ask him, and then all of a sudden, in the lame duck session, right after Romney got beat, they do this. You have to put two and two together and say this is part of a bigger picture. This is about power politics, 2014, 2016.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think another small factor in that might be that the Michigan Constitution says that any law that goes into place, unless there's a supermajority that puts it into immediate effect, doesn't go into effect until the next legislative session or the next year. So maybe by sneaking it in before the year.
Yeah, I read that 90. I got a memo on that, so that's what I'm hearing. So
yeah, so by doing it this year, it'll go into effect next year. So which is in 3 weeks. So, or not into effect. I mean, it could be going into effect in 90 days. But my point is, otherwise, if they did it in January, it could take an entire year before it goes into effect. And so this might be a way of sneaking it into effect faster too. But I think
the word is he's going to sign it tomorrow.
Yeah, incredible. I think this has to do with the $900,000 that the Koch brothers laundered through the Republican Governors Association to help get Rick Snyder elected.
Well, that's what I believe. And also, they're promising support in 2014 when he runs. They're already lining him up, telling him, you want support, you have to do this. I believe that's what's going on.
How is that not bribery?
That there is a lot more to politics than meets the eye. When people do things that he said he wasn't going to do, I think that they had to have a meeting somewhere, and they said, look, you want the support, the big money that we're going to put out, then you better do this because this is what we want.
Yeah, this is the payback for a purchased election.